And now coming back down the ice are the Eagles into the neutral zone. Browning has it across the Orediggers line, and they're going to take it deep down into the Orediggers end. Kicking it back up now to Stevenson. He had a heck of a game last night.
An outstanding game last night. That guy played on his head for most of the game. He was extremely impressive.
And we'll see what happens here tonight between these two. Just about 4 minutes gone here in this first period.
See, again, if you watch Stevenson, he is always in motion, and that's what he did right there, even though he lost the puck, but he was moving so well that he's constantly in position. Outstanding hockey player.
And Erickson with it. He was a no-show in the lineup last night, a healthy scratch. Pat Hanlon, the head coach, still trying to figure out what to do with Erickson, and he has him at the forward position. Erickson, a big guy that's really good in front of the net, especially on screens, but not the quickest guy out there on the ice.
No, but he can utilize his size, like you said, put him in front of the net and do some screening on it.
And we apologize for all of you out there that couldn't hear us until just now. May have been better to watch the game without us, but you're stuck with us from this point forward. My name is Tyler Pisani. I'm joined today by Gary Allen as we take you through the second game of this weekend between the hometown Eastern Washington Eagles and the visiting Montana Tech Orediggers. And we told you last night, mostly Gary, he was very adamant that you get down here and watch this game. And we actually had a fan that drove all the way over here from Marysville to come watch this game because we told him to.
Well, it was great. I mean, it was such a good hockey game last night. You're missing out on a second game because, again, right there, even though Eastern changed goalies, Ball did an outstanding job of blocking that point-blank shot. So it's just good hockey out here, folks.
And Minderman getting the puck stuck up in his skates. Now a chance here for Minderman through the neutral zone. Grabs it but can't hold on to it. Now with it is Purley. Giving chase is O'Donnell, the converted goaltender. He takes a bounce off the wall. And the one thing that he said about the game is he's not quite a fan of getting hit.
Yeah,
that's his least favorite part of skating out.
And I can see that. He's pretty well protected as a netminder with his teammates. But he played a good game last night, though, for playing out.
A big shot, just a little bit too tall by Abbott. We said his name quite a bit last night. The 6-foot captain from Butte, Montana. And now Minderman on the far side. He's going to bring it across the Orediggers line down into the corner. And a turnover there for the Eagles in the attacking end.
But if you notice both teams, it looks like they're picking up right where they left off last night. They are skating hard again tonight.
And now that one back all the way to Tripke. Tripke fired a shot, but too many men in front. Right there, right into the hands of Travis McKay. He's going to fire back down the ice. One of the better defensemen for the team, McKay is. He's been with this program for a long time. I want to say he's a fifth-year senior on the team. So he definitely understands the highs and lows of this ACHA team. And he noticed the difference last night in the play of the team, just the overall feeling in the locker room before and after the game.
Well, the enthusiasm was there throughout the whole game this year, and that was a big difference between the two teams last year. They didn't lose a step when they were down, and they kept plugging away. That was a nice hit by Scrimshaw for the Orediggers.
And now back with it is Tyler Stremka, and he's just going to fire down the ice. Giving chase is Shaw. He's going to take it back behind his own net. He's got a man in front of him in Warman. And Warman went about half a round with Colin Purley last night in the first period, and then we didn't see him again for most of the game. I don't know if that was a coach's decision or if it hurt his hand a little bit punching that cage.
Yeah, it's hard to say, and I would go with the latter on what you said because the cage is not going to give.
No. And now down on the ice in the corner is Jeffs. He's able to get it just far enough for Shaw. We're going to have a delayed penalty coming against the Orediggers. Touching it up is Tyler Stremka. We'll figure out what it is. Eastern Washington last night, not the best night on the power play as they went 1 for 4 on the penalty kill. I'm sorry, 1 for 5 on the penalty kill and 1 for 4 on the power play. They're going to have their chance at a power play here. 7 minutes and 54 seconds into this period.
And it's having to feel it last night, Tyler. Excuse me on that. But again, now the shots on goals shift. Orediggers have 7, Eastern has 3. So it's interesting, just like last night.
And that penalty is going to be a tripping minor for Ralph Thrall, and that's a loss for the Orediggers. He's very good with the stick out there, one of their better players.
He's outstanding for the Orediggers. He was a playmaker last night.
And now that is Abbott Jr. bringing it up on the far side, shorthanded. He's looking to get on the score sheet early. Back with it is Boring. Boring surveys the ice near side. He's got Purley. Purley's going to bring it up the low wall. He's got 2 men in the middle, including Ouellette. Gives it to Ouellette, looking for that tip down. Some good communication there between the players as Purley fed that towards the net. High enough for Ouellette to slap that down. He just couldn't make contact with it. 1 minute, 10 seconds remaining in this penalty.
But that goes back to what we talked about last night. This does not look like a team that's playing in September. It looks like a January team right now.
Purley picks it up at the near side point, feeds it around the boards. Getting there first is Browning. Browning still with the puck at his stick, looking for somebody to give it to. He loses his skates. A couple of players collide down in the corner. Smith coming off of the bench, trying to keep that in the zone and can't. Out of his goal is Ball. He's behind his own net. Gonna leave it off now for Purley. Purley, far side to near, off of the wall, ahead to Shaw, right at Shaw's skates. Picking it up is Minderman behind him. Minderman backhanding it, trying to get it to his man in the center, but can't. And again, a nice clearance by the Orediggers with 10:35 to go, 30 seconds left in that penalty.
Well, the Orediggers are doing a nice job of standing Eastern up at the blue line and won't let them penetrate.
That one fired down and around. Picking it up is Shaw on the far side. Shaw with it, leaves it back for Minderman. Minderman can't hold on to it, but able to disrupt the player just enough. And that's Tews that's sticking with the puck for the Orediggers. Back to Smith. Smith fires a shot just wide of the net, all the way back now to Jeffs. Jeffs over to Smith. Smith thinks about the shot, decides better of it to Jeffs. Jeffs centers it, tries to feed it to somebody in front of the net. A good pass there by Shaw to Minderman, and Eastern Washington back to five-a-side hockey with the Orediggers as Thrall comes out of the penalty box. And we're going to have a penalty. I believe this time it's on the Eagles. A high stick. And it looks like that one's going to be on Zach Minderman. Or I'm sorry, on Zach Shaw. As he got caught up with a guy down in the corner, and I think his stick just kind of got away from him.
Yeah, I do not think it was unintentional. He just accidentally had a stick that got caught. And it was a good call by the ref.
And here we go. This is where the Eagles did not want to be tonight. An early power play. The first 4 power play goals for the Orediggers coming less than 30 seconds into that penalty. But after they found their shape, they did an okay job, the Eagles did.
They did. They actually started to adjust to what the Orediggers were doing. But if I was Eastern, I would definitely keep an eye on Thrall. He is sneaky, and he is good for the Orediggers.
And he likes to hang out on the left side of the ice, or just to, I guess on the ice level, just to the left side of the goalie, and wait for that one-timer pass.
Yeah, he just kind of tries to get lost in the maze of players, and then all of a sudden he springs out.
Frock fires a shot right into the leg pads of Ball. And I had a good conversation with Pat Hanlon about the power play, and that's one thing that he said is he wants his guys to stay home, but he also believes that these two goalies, by them being a tandem system this year, they make themselves better on every aspect, including special teams, because that's where games of this level are won and lost.
Well, plus what's nice about having a tandem goaltender is that the other team has to adjust. So it's like it's a new game for them compared to what Eastern has faced tonight with Lucas.
Now back to Abbott Jr. He's up top. The captain feeds it down to Thrall. Back to Abbott Jr. And we saw this a lot last night. Thrall, that one-time shot just a little too high, and that's good for Ball because he went down real early there. Thrall looking to go top shelf from that left side. Now back to Abbott. Now back to Thrall on that one-timer. And Eastern Washington finally figuring out that system. Thrall, Thrall shot.
There's no question about it. Thrall's their main player on their power play, but Eastern did cover up that time well.
45 seconds left to go on Shaw's high-sticking minor as the Orediggers have that man advantage. Coming through the neutral zone, a big chop there by Zakrajcek. Right down onto the stick of Abbott Jr., a big hit on the far side on Browning, and that's going to be a penalty.
And I think they're going to get Young on this one.
And actually, they're going to give Zakrajcek a minor for interference off of that big hit and an elbow on Young. You are right. Both of these penalties coming 11 minutes, 44 seconds into the first period. Young with an elbow, and then Zakrajcek with an interference. And we'll see if they go 4-on-3 or 4-on-4 here. I don't believe that those are coincidental minors, so I would guess it would be a 4-on-3 situation. Lots of open ice. But they could go a 5-on-4 here.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to go with. Now, it'll be interesting with the Orediggers. Last night, on their power play, they really tried to set it up in the neutral zone and attack, and I'm wondering if they'll try to change that style. Now it's 5-on-3, so a ton of open ice. No,
and they're going to send one guy back. So it is going to be 4-on-3 here. Eastern Washington, their first time with 3 men on the ice so far this season. It's going to be something for them to work on here and hold that shape. They've only got to do it for 22 seconds, an offside call there.
And the only defense we have on that one, Tyler, is the players were coming off and going off and coming on.
Oh, yeah,
going off,
nobody really knew what was happening
So
there.
we apologize for that, folks, but there was several different changes of the minds by the referee on how they were setting it up.
That one, Browning, a good face-off win there for the Eagles, and they needed it just outside of their zone. Purley there behind his own net, going to fire it the length of the ice. And there's Browning on the heavy forecheck. I think he kind of forgot that it was a 4-on-3, and there was only 2 men behind him, because as soon as he realized it, he came back into his own zone pretty quick. A good pass there through the zone to Stremka, but he can't connect on it. And we're back to 4-on-4 hockey here now. Still lots of open ice out there with 2 players sitting in the box, 1 for each team. With it is Thrall. He's going to take it on the far side. Waiting up top is Onstadt. And now giving chase is Ouellette. He can't get away with it. And here comes Thrall again. He's got a man down low. He's going to take it right up front. A shot and a rebound. Ball could have covered that up. Couldn't really find it, I don't think. And Blasek finds the back of the net.
Well, I give Blasek credit on that one. He went in, got the initial shot, and it came out a little bit, and he didn't give up, and he went right back with it. I was going to say before that goal, it'd be interesting if Eastern would shadow Thrall and make someone else make the plays on the power play, and it looks like now they did on that one. But it's interesting on how Thrall is. Everything goes around him on that power play.
Well, and I think Blasek did a good job of getting in close to ball and forcing him to either cover that up or lose it down in his leg pads, and he did the latter. And that's going to be an offside.
It just spit off of his skate and pounced back on me. And I think he was trying to cover it up with his pad and just was a little lower than what he anticipated at that time.
Exactly.
But again, good reflex on his part to stop the initial shot.
1:05 left to go in these coincidental minor, or not coincidental minors, I apologize. In the interference minor to Zakrajcek and the elbowing minor to Young. And again, that's offside. These refs calling this tight tonight. The linesmen are on as far as the blue line's concerned.
That was a nice job by Shane Smith. He did a nice pick to hold the Oredigger offside, and that was a nice play by him.
Well, face-off right in front of the Eagles bench. That one won by the Orediggers. And a man down on the ice is McKay. With it now is Jeffs. Jeffs kicks it off the wall. A good fight there for the puck with Jeffs and Campbell, and now coming away with it is Smith. A swing and a miss, really. He got just enough of it to get it up and out of the zone.
Jeffs is fighting on that one. He did a good job of sticking with that puck. He was not going to give that up to the Orediggers. That was an excellent job on his part. But it looks like some more people are coming in tonight. Tyler, I was looking at that also. So the crowd's getting picked up again, where it's a good size number again like last night.
And this is definitely a crowd that I'm not sure anybody was really expecting, because the football team is playing right now at Montana. I mean, obviously the big rival of Eastern Washington is the Montana Grizzlies on the football field. So a lot of people out watching that game, but they still ended up here tonight to watch this hockey game. A decent turnout. I'd say probably about 75% or 75% of last night's crowd, probably about 60% full overall.
But it's good to see, because Eastern has a great product this year. There's no question about that. They're going to be strong throughout the year.
Yeah, and the early deficit here, nothing to worry about. In past years it may have been, but the Eagles and Orediggers have showed the resilience for both teams. to come from behind, and a chance there for the Eagles right out front now that Stevenson kicks it down into the corner. And coming the other way is the Orediggers. And there's Abbott Jr. again. You see him skating right towards the goal mouth. And again, a good stop by Ball. A true hybrid goaltender. You'll see him go down into that butterfly pretty quick, but he's also at home standing up. A good shot there and a goal. That one just over the left. And you can see him talking to Tyler O'Donnell just a little bit. He was upset that O'Donnell didn't step in front of that shot.
I think it caught him off guard. I think O'Donnell, he thought he had that, and he kind of let up a little bit on that. But now he can bounce back. I mean, it's 2-0 for the Orediggers, but plenty of time in the game left. Again, they're playing extremely even. So the next goal will definitely could dictate how the game's going to go the rest of the night, though.
Absolutely. This one up to Browning. Eastern Washington doing a good job on the offensive side of the puck as well tonight. Just not able to find that magic shot so far. With it is Purley, right to his skates. He's going to fire it along the glass all the way over to Ouellette on the far side. He's going to come together with Tripke. Tripke makes Ouellette miss one time, but Ouellette still not giving up. Now Browning coming in to help. Browning feeds it out to Ouellette. Wood, Rubber, Twine, Morgan. Ouellette finds the back of the net. And the Eagles cut this deficit in half.
Well, what was nice to see on that one, Browning did not quit on the play. He kept going after it and kicked the puck out, and he set that up. That was an excellent job of him not giving up. Again, Eastern answers back, and this is what they were doing last night, which is a different take for this team, and that's what I like about them this year. They just keep chugging along, battling and battling. Great goal on that one. They needed that one for a little bit of momentum.
Oh, absolutely. And that was, as you said, Browning did a good job of fighting down into the corner. He saw Ouellette needed help and was able to pick up that puck out of the scrum, get it behind the net, had the vision to see Ouellette sitting right out front, fed it to him, and Ouellette did the rest.
I'll tell you, he's having a real strong game on defense for Eastern is Purley. He's playing really well tonight.
Now with it is Boring. Boring takes a backhand shot, looking to go 5-hole, feeds it back out front, and there is Ouellette again. And the Eagles trying to skate back, not give numbers. A good opportunity there for the Orediggers as Nolan Stremka. A huge hit in the corner. And that is Zakrajcek again. I believe they called an elbow.
Yeah, that was an interesting call on that one. Because it looked like he had a clean shot on him.
I'm not sure how that was an interference call when he had the puck. But must have felt like he got there just a little bit early. So now with 4:55 left, the Eagles going to have to kill off another penalty. And I know that head coach Pat Hanlon is pulling his hair out at the moment.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how Eastern will adjust. Last night, what the Orediggers were doing was they were looking definitely to set it up through Thrall. The last power play that they had, Eastern shut him down. So it'll be interesting if they made that adjustment to make the other players work.
And we will get our second taste, of a power play. The Eagles able to kill off the first one so far tonight. A lot of that credit to Tegan Ball.
But I do find that call interesting that just is made, though.
Dangerous right out front is if there had been an Ordigger waiting out front, he would have had the whole back half of the net. A good save there by Ball again, back to his feet. And looking for that wraparound, feeding it out front. A shot and a good deflection there by Jeffs. Ball saw the puck. He probably would have been able to get there, but no reason to make him stress about it. Wind up, a shot again off of the leg pads of Tegan Ball, who really is fantastic when it comes to pucks that are down on the ice.
Yes, he has very quick reflexes. If you notice the Orediggers, what they're doing a lot of cycling, which is interesting on a power play. The motion is constantly there, and I'm looking at Thrall. He's going from the offensive, and then he plays defense a little bit just to get into play.
Well, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I say this, but that's a very Don Knockbauer style of a power play. Something that we've seen.
Yeah, I would like to see some research on see where Thrall played before, because that guy has played in upper division hockey. Because there he is again with the puck again. He's always somewhere, and the team's looking for him constantly.
A shot wide of the net, 35 seconds left in this power play. Near side, a shot. Ducking to get out of the way was Warman, but that shot from Thrall just a little bit too tall. And a big hit there in front of the Eagles bench, and that's how you get the boys back into it. A shot and a goal, and he just didn't see it. He saw the shot happen, but he couldn't find the puck, and Frock found the back of the net on the power play, and that is what is going to eat these Eagles alive, is this power play this weekend.
I'm wondering if they don't give it to Campbell on a tip-in, because that puck changed directions right in front of Ball, and that's where Campbell was basically positioned.
And I think you're right.
Either way you look at it, it was a nice shot, but I do think Campbell's going to get that goal.
And they are going to give it to Frock.
Wow. They
A shot, good
that.
blocker save there by Ball. Here come the Eagles. They're going to look to get one back here before the break. Again, not the worst place in the world for them to be a 2-goal lead. And here comes Browning. Browning over to Ouellette. Ouellette shoots and just over the top of the net. Browning being pinned to the ice, still trying to get that around the goaltender. It almost makes it happen. Zakrajcek again with a big hit. And now some pushing and shoving after the play on Zakrajcek. Zakrajcek just trying to get away, and he can't. The official just standing there watching and not really sure what's happening. Zakrajcek trying to escape the situation there, and Blasek not letting him get away. That's the second time Zakrajcek's had a big hit on Blasek, and Blasek is not happy about it. But I'm not really sure what the referee saw there, as Blasek was very clearly holding on to Zakrajcek, not allowing him to skate away, but no penalty call there.
You're right, Tyler. What's interesting, because Blasek definitely looked like the aggressor, and he wasn't going to let him go, and the referees were looking at it.
Okay, and now they're going to say an unsportsmanlike here for Blasek, but that's an after the play call. And I understand that that it's a power play for the Eagles one way or the other, but it still seems odd to me that he waited so long to let that play develop.
Yeah, I'm really not sure why it took him that long, to be frank with you, because he was holding on to him for a good 5 seconds on that and would not let him go.
Well, and the only thing that I can think is that, and this penalty coming 17:31 of the first period, that's going to be Blasek for an unsportsmanlike. But the only thing that I can think is Merrill is very familiar with Trevor Zakrajcek.
True.
Zakrajcek, coming from the BCIHL team here on campus, he was I don't want to say that he was a fighter, but he was a guy that would get scrappy. So the only thing that can cross my mind here is maybe Merrill, the referee, was thinking that he was waiting to see if Zakrajcek was going to go. But at this level, a fight's going to send you home.
Yeah.
And I think Zakrajcek knows that, and he's smart enough to not engage, especially in a game where they're down by 2 goals.
Yeah. And he did use a lot of restraint on that one, because you could tell that he was trying to get away and he couldn't. But you're right, I'm not sure what the referee was waiting for.
Big shot and a tip up into the glass. Eastern Washington now on the power play. 1:55 to go. 2:24 left in this first period. And I did do some research for you. Ralph Thrall, a Lethbridge native, played Bantam AA, Midget Double, and AAA. Played for the Butte Cobras in his junior career. And
the AA team he's playing for, that's a high-level league that he was playing with
yes.
Lethbridge.
And he was with the Lethbridge Hurricanes, the midget AAA team, 32 games, 3 goals, 3 assists, so not necessarily a star at that level, but when you bring a player of that caliber down into the ACHA and club hockey, they can really stand out.
Yeah, he's just a solid hockey player. And I'd like to see where Abba, we might do some research on him too, because he's another kid that has played upper hockey before too.
And now with it just over a minute left on this power play, 1:10 in fact for the Eagles. Smith brings it up along the low wall, a touch up in the neutral zone by Browning. He's going to give chase. Some of the other Eagles heading back to the box. And Browning, just a bulldog tonight, especially in the attacking end. Boring, looking for somebody out front, couldn't get it to him and couldn't get rid of the puck fast enough. Tripke sends it down the ice. Ball slows down the puck. Here comes Zakrajcek to pick it up. 45 seconds left to go in this power play. Off of the wall. And Thompson just didn't know where the puck was. Bounced off the wall almost right to his skates, and he just didn't think it was coming up that way. Ouellette loses his footing down there in the corner. Eastern Washington having a hard time maintaining possession here in this period, or on this power play. Kick save there by Ball. Here come the Eagles. Ouellette up to Browning. That's been a very good tandem so far tonight. They combined for that first goal. Boring, now he's going to skate back towards his own blue line. Now bring it into the Diggers' end. Browning has it, flips it ahead to Boring. Boring can't get a hold of it, but now he does down low. Boring with it. Back up to Ouellette. Ouellette fires a shot right into the chest of Lucas, and that's going to cause a stoppage just as Matthew Blasick leaves the box. So we are back to five-a-side hockey for the final 27.5 seconds of this period.
One thing tonight I'm noticing a little bit of difference, Eastern. They're not as offensive-minded. They're not as crisp tonight, and I'm wondering if they're not changing their game plan a little bit to see if they can change it up from last night. But they're definitely more defensive style tonight than they were last night.
And Zakrajcek and Blasick going at it again in the face-off circle there before the puck was dropped.
And we may see that later on in this game, that they come together again.
Browning has it, less than 10 seconds to go. Eastern Washington looking to get one more shot, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen as the puck rolls into the corner. The Orediggers content going to the locker room with a 3-1 first intermission lead. And don't go away, because this game is about to get even better. Yes, a 3-1 lead for the Orediggers as we head into this first intermission, but it is by no means over. These two teams went back and forth all last night, and I expect the same tonight. We're going to step away, take a break. We will be back in about 20 minutes with the second period of hockey here in Cheney, Washington. You're watching Eastern Washington University men's hockey. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Cheney, Washington and the Eastern Washington University Recreation Center. My name is Tyler Pisani, joined again tonight by Gary Allen as we take in the second of two games this weekend between the Eastern Washington Eagles and the Montana Tech Orediggers. Heading into that first intermission, the Orediggers getting a late goal in that period, putting themselves up 3-1. Overall, what do you think of that period, Gary?
Well, defensively, I think both of them played extremely well. Eastern looked a little sluggish offensively, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments they made in between periods. And that's the difference right now. The Orediggers, they're playing like they did offensively last year. That's why they have an 8-shot on goal advantage. But besides that, Eastern's playing a great defensive game. They just got to step up their offense a little bit, take a few risks.
Well, we'll take a look back at how we got to this point in just a little bit, but to give you an update on stuff going on around the country and heck across the continent, Eastern Washington trailing the Montana Grizzlies 34-27 on the football field. 12:51 left to go in the fourth quarter of that one. And when you look at the WHL, the Spokane Chiefs again on top. They won their game last night, and well, heck, they're en route to do it again tonight against the Prince George Cougars. They're leading 3-1. With 15:38 left to go in the second period. Nolan Reed with a goal for the Chiefs. Hudson Elenick, his second goal of the season, and Riley Woods, his second goal of the season as well. But let's get back to the matter at hand. Eastern Washington University hockey here at the URC. They win the face-off back to Boring. Boring's going to go to the far side to Zakrajcek, right up top to Browning. That was definitely a designed play there coming out of the locker room.
Yeah, that was more of a jump and chase from the top of the slot. That's what Eastern's going to have to do. They're going to have to generate some offense however they can, change it up a bit.
And Boring has a rocket for a shot, but unfortunately, that rocket is always aimed directly at the shins of an Oredigger player. Good poke there in the neutral zone by McKay. He swings at it, loses it, goes back to the Diggers. Now coming to the near side, that's Tyler Stremka. He picked it up.
McKay's having himself a strong game tonight again.
And I think he's just trying to make it a point to show that he deserves to be in this lineup again. Here comes Browning. He's got a man trailing. Browning takes a shot, looks to go top shelf and off the crossbar. That a lucky save there for Max Lucas.
He did an outstanding job of using Jeffs as a decoy on that one to go up top.
And now here is Jeffs with the puck across the center line, across the Orediggers line. He has it poked away, but right to the stick of Ouellette. Ouellette goes through the wickets of Frock, but not any further. Now Stevenson with it. He gets it back up to Minderman. Minderman to Smith. Smith feeds it ahead before he gets put into the boards. A good dump there by the sophomore. Now with it is Minderman. He's got Smith waiting out front. Minderman looking for somebody. Finally gets it over, loses it to Stevenson, and a good dodge there by Abbott. So he got out of the way of a streaking Minderman. And here comes Stevenson. He looks, takes a shot right into the chest, a bouncing puck. Smith there to cover it up, or to clean it up, but instead Lucas covers it up.
And that's what I'm kind of seeing right now tonight with Eastern. They just seem to be one step slower than they were last night, because that was a good rebound. And so it'll be interesting to see how they'll adjust to the sluggish pace right now. They are playing a good game. They're just not on top of their offense. Their defense is playing outstanding, though, right now.
And they'll bring that one back just outside of the zone, directly in front of us here at the Eastern Washington University Recreation Center. Shaw and Blasick head-to-head there. Blasick coming away with that face-off win. Now on the far side, a nice touch-up there by Clark. He's going to put it into the corner. But coming away with it again is Tripke. Tripke fires it towards the Eastern Washington bench, actually bounces off of the center line on the wall and all the way back to Ball. He's going to slow it down, feed it along the wall. Tripped up just a little bit was Thompson. Now that one's going to go back to Purley. Purley behind his own net, waiting for a play to develop. He's going to give it ahead to Thompson. Thompson's got a man down the center of the ice and Shaw, and instead Thompson's going to bring it himself. Loses it, but right to the stick of Shaw. Shaw to the edge. He's got a man waiting right out front, and Clark can't get it to him. He tried to, a shot. A good save there by Lucas as he shut the door right on the post. Shaw able to keep it in just with a flick of the wrist, and now here come the Diggers. Plus Y, he's going to bring it in. Right at his skates. First time we've seen him tonight. Shaw He's going to come near side now to Purley. Purley's got Thompson in front of him. Instead gives it to Erickson right off of the stick of Erickson. Erickson into the attacking end. And the Eagles maybe caught up in a change here. It's Young. He's going to bring it in. Can't get enough of it. Looked to make one man miss and couldn't come away with it. We see Rhett Green out there for the first time tonight. Possibly the best flow on the team, that young man, a freshman. Came from playing house hockey here in Spokane. And Erickson, not the way to earn playing time there, as he's going to head to the box for a tripping minor.
Yeah, but on that one, I've noticed Eastern the last two shifts.
I'm sorry, that's a cross check.
The last two shifts that Eastern did, their offense did step up a notch on that. And it could just be a little bit of fatigue carryover from last night. I'm not sure about the penalty. I'm not sure what Erickson was thinking at that particular time. But that's how it is. That's his game.
And we're going to see this again. Thrall over on the far side. And Ball doing a good job of just holding on to it.
And we did do a little research on Thrall. He did. He has played junior hockey before, because his talent level would definitely dictate it. He has.
And we see him on this power play. And now you go back up top to Onstad, over to Thrall. Thrall's going to go back to Onstad here. And we're going to see Onstad go back to Thrall. And you see this setup time and time again with them. And this time Thrall coming all the way back up to the top. Onstad, he's going to come to the near side to Frock. Frock back to Onstad again. Chances are he's going to go to Thrall, and there he goes. Thrall fires a shot deflected wide. And tripped up there is Frock. Just got his skates all crossed up. Driving it straight to the front. A huge hit right out front by Ouellette. A big hit by Ouellette on Brady to break up that play, and that's exactly what the Eagles needed right there.
But Ball did a nice job of tracking that puck and stayed with it, and he made the stop. One thing I've noticed with the Orediggers on this power play right now, they're cycling out on top, and that's why Thrall is playing at the blue line more than most teams will do their cycle down low. They change it up a little bit on how they operate. And it is causing Eastern a little bit of problems, because it's rare that you see that they do a cycle format up on top by the blue line, but it's a good play by them, though.
And a little bit of a conversation here. Minderman's waiting for a clarification on something. Waiting right at the top of the officials' crease. They're having a conversation, not sure about what. 1:49 remaining on Erickson's penalty. The Diggers leading 3-1, 16:41 to go in this period.
Now you notice the shots on goals closing up a little bit. The Orediggers are 16-10 over Eastern, but that's closing the gap a little bit too. And now we got a crowd favorite. We're the rec center shooting T-shirts to the crowd. Just another reason to be out here at the hockey game, folks, out there.
Absolutely. Nice contingent of fans there on the northwest side of the rink.
They were pumped up even when they were doing the Zamboni. I was watching them, and they were excited about that.
And a good grab there in the stands by a fan as we try and figure out what's going on here. The officials talking to the Montana Tech bench.
And I still haven't figured out what the conversation is in delay right now.
No, right. Oh, I see it now. The clock says 54:60. That could be a problem if the score clock right now showing. Oh, now it's back to 15:46. So we're getting closer here.
Well, they just wanted to make sure they had some overtime tonight built in, Tyler, instead of last night.
Just have it right into the period. And we're back underway here in Cheney. With it now is Frock. He gives it back to Onstad. Onstad fires a shot from the top. A puck out front, dangerous. Ball can't find it. And luckily somebody a swing and just wide of the net on the far side. Now Thrall back to Onstad. Back to Thrall. He's going to wind up for that one-timer, bouncing around, dangerous. Frock's there. The puck right out front, and a good save by Tegan Ball. And two players down inside of the crease.
And Tegan stayed up high on that one. That was an excellent position on his part. He just stood his ground and wasn't going to let anything go in.
And I've been watching Tegan here as these passes go back and forth, and he's really figured out what's going on this power play. And it's a very simple power play for Montana Tech, but it worked last night. Yeah, you've got the man up top and one man on either side, and they just give it to him for a one-timer.
Well, there's absolutely no question. They're looking for Thrall at ACHA. He's the main shooter on this power play.
This one's going to go all the way to Thrall on the far side underneath the Roos restaurant. Smells so good in here tonight. This is not typically the smell stays inside of that restaurant, but all I can smell is chicken wings and pizza, and I am so hungry. So if you get down here, another reason to come down to the URC. You got chicken wings and pizza. And speaking of pizza, a huge thank you to our title sponsor of the online broadcast, Barrel House Pub and Pizza. If you come down here, you can get 10% off your bill just by taking your ticket stub down there after the game. Barrel House Pub and Pizza, the official post-game headquarters of your Eastern Washington Eagles. And you see the captain, Abbott, back up there at the top on the power play. Kind of curious why he wasn't there before. Him and Thrall have a good thing going. Abbott now fires a shot. Ouellette saw it coming, able to stick his leg out there. 8 seconds left on the power play. 14:45 to go here in this period. And Erickson going to jump right off, right out of the box and right onto the bench. A good opportunity there for the Eagles. They just couldn't get the momentum swinging that direction, that up into the netting by Colin Purley.
I want to add on to what you were talking about, Tyler, about the Barrel House. Last night was the first time I was there, and I'd recommend anyone to go down there and have a pizza. I was very impressed with them for the first time I ever been in the establishment. Service was great. Food was really good, and nice atmosphere in that place.
Mike down there and his staff, they do a good job. And here comes Minderman, the captain. He's got Maiko. He's going to give it to Maiko. Maiko across the blue line, fires a shot and blockered away by Lucas. And now here come the Diggers the other way. With the puck is Blasick. He's been giving them fits all night long. We saw that he had quite a career before he came to Montana Tech as well. A big high dump into center ice, lands right in front of Smith, and he had no idea where that puck was. It actually surprised him when it bounced in front of him. And now it is Abbott. Abbott Jr. over the VF logo, fires a shot as he's falling down right into the chest of Ball, and he's going to hold on to it.
That was both excellent plays, not only by Ball, but Abbott. His handling of the puck is superb. He's got great hand-eye coordination on that. And again, Ball tracked that the whole time from coming in on the blue line. So excellent play by both those players.
And now it's going to be Thrall squaring off against Shaw in the face-off dot. And Shaw coming away with the win for the Eagles. Boring has it. He can't get it any further than Cobber. Cobber and Stevenson now in the corner. Stevenson, a tall kid for the Eagles. And we talked about him last night a little bit in his pedigree, having a dad that played quite a career in the NHL. He came down to this level, and he's been doing fantastic so far for this team over 2 games. 13:36 to go here in this period. That'll be offside.
He has a high skill set for a player, and this is very interesting. But this is an old cliche, but this next goal, I keep getting a feeling in this game that there's a lull. And one of the teams is waiting for the other team to do something, and I think this is a very crucial next goal that will dictate the outcome of this game tonight.
And it's very important for the Eagles here to get on the board if they want to stay in this one. They always say a 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead to have. And that's because, like you said, teams kind of get, teams kind of get lulled to sleep, and you don't get any closer to missing than that by Ty Twos. He went bar south just over the top of Ball. There's as a goaltender, there's not a whole lot you can do at that height. Other than reaching out and grabbing it, but from the butterfly position, you almost feel like that one's going to go up over the top.
And Ball did go down a bit early before he even took the shot, and that's what made the bottom of the crossbar wide open on that one. Well, now we'll definitely see what Eastern does with this one, because like I was saying, there's just a feel in the air that there's this lull and someone's waiting for something to happen. And with a 4-1 deficit, or a 3-goal deficit, now it'll be interesting to see what Eastern's got going.
And the Eagles, if they want to stay in this one, it was a big hit there. Right out front, a chance, a shot and a goal. What an answer for the Eastern Washington Eagles as Trevor Zakrajcek picked that up at the near post. And he did the same thing that Twos did, but he was about 25 feet closer. He went right over the top of Max Lucas and hit the top of the net. And that's what the Eagles needed here to get back into this one.
That was almost a blueprint of that goal that the Orediggers have. Krajicek was there, went up top. Lucas went down real early on that one too and went top shelf on him. Excellent play by him. But you're right, he was in a little bit closer, but he made Lucas move left to right a little bit on that one. I think that's why he went down in his butterfly. A little bit early for him. Well, now we'll see what Eastern does. Now it's 4-2. The crowd's getting back into it a little bit.
And that's exactly what Eastern Washington needed to do. They couldn't let Montana Tech build up any momentum coming off of that goal. And now's their chance. Get the crowd back into it, like you said, and maybe, cut this deficit in half again.
And that might have been what the feeling was. The crowd was real silent for a while, and now they're getting a little bit more perked up, and that's maybe what Eastern needs.
And now picking it up is Young. Young's going to take it from the near side to the far, off of the shoulder of Tegan Ball and into the netting.
Now that time Tegan stood his ground. He didn't go down. He made the player commit first, and that was the difference compared to that one goal that it went in. But again, just like last night, both teams are playing extremely well. They're evenly matched. The shot differential is 13 in favor of the Orediggers, but it still doesn't seem like it's that big a gap. They're still playing equally.
That one through the crease. Tegan down early again, trying to kick it away. Green back out there. He's looking to use his body. A shot right into the chest of Tegan Ball. He's going to hold on to it. The mechanical engineer major.
By no means when I was saying that Tegan went down early on his butterfly on that goal. He's played a really outstanding game tonight too. It's just one of those things that happen, but don't fool yourself. He's having a strong game tonight.
Yeah, both of these goaltenders have had good showing so far this weekend. A good shot there just wide of the mark, and now with the puck into the corner is Tyler Stremka. That's going to bounce back to Nolan Stremka down into the corner. That one right out front, ripe for the taking, and luckily for the Eagles, Minderman was there to pick it up. Taking it back towards his own goal is Onstadt. Now over to the far side where Stremka has it. And a steal in the neutral zone by Maiko. He runs into the ref in front of the Eagles bench. And that's going to slow down the play for the Eagles. A huge hit by Zach Minderman on Nolan Stremka there.
And they're going to get him.
And they're going to say that was a rough. I'm not... Again, I don't get paid to make the calls on the ice, but that looked like a very clean hit and a penalty just because it was a big hit.
And I'm with you, Tyler. I'm not a referee, but that one I did not see any viciousness to it. It was just there. It was a clean hit, it looked like to me. I'm really not sure what the ref saw.
I guess I don't really understand how on a check, one way or the other, you can have a rough when the player has the puck, the two players come together. There's no elbow, there's no knee, there's no kicking, there's no cross-check. There's penalties that are designed for big hits when they're illegal.
Yeah,
but that was simply a penalty on a big hit for the sake of it being a big hit, and that's going to put the Eagles at a disadvantage here.
That was interesting. He didn't take a run at him. It was no more than 2 strides, and they collided with each other.
And even at that, if he had taken more, then you've got charging, spearing. Yeah. There's specific penalties designed for this instance of a big hit, and I don't understand a roughing call on a hit during the course of play. He didn't hit him on the blind side. He squared him up right into the boards.
And the ref might have wanted to call it, like what you said, a high stick instead of roughing. He might have called it wrong, but it's still the penalty. I'm not really sure what he saw, but he has a better angle than I do.
That's definitely true. We, as I said, we don't get paid to make those calls. We just get paid to speculate. That one sent back down the length of the ice. Eastern Washington, and I know that I'm going to jinx them saying this, but doing a good job on the power play so far tonight. Much better jobs than they did last night.
A tremendous lot difference in how they're doing their penalty kill tonight.
And here comes Thrall, this time switching sides. We see him on the near side, on the right side of the goal here on this power play. Back up to Frock. Frock thinking about it, gets it to Abbott Jr. atop the Eagles, painted on the ice. Now on the far side to Thrall, back to Abbott. He's going to go back to Thrall here, I'd bet. No, he goes over to Frock. Frock feeds it down low to his own man, trying to get it back to Frock, and they're just trying to get it out net front and hope that something bounces in. That one off of the hands of that's Campbell and into the netting, so that's going to come back out into the neutral zone.
Well, what Thrall's doing really well, he's going on the blind side of the goalie, and that's where the D-man for Eastern's got to pick him up because he's always floating. The goalie's not really, can't see where he's at. And he's done that for the last 2 nights, and he's excellent at it. And he pounces on the puck, and he has a real quick release on his shot.
And here we come just outside of the Eastern Washington zone in front of us. Won by the Orediggers, but all the way back into their end with just 45 seconds remaining on this power play. Browning a heavy forecheck into the neutral zone, leaving his men potentially out of sorts there. And a good poke check there by Jeffs on Abbott, who was driving towards the goal. Abbott's on the near side now, and this is what the Eagles needed to do. They seem to have gotten Montana Tech kind of all out of sorts. And a good save there. Some good movement by the Eagles. There was just too much going on there in the crease.
Too much of a scramble out there, Tyler. Way too much of a scramble. No one could really locate the puck. The Orediggers stayed on top of it.
And that one just happened to bounce right to the stick of Young, who was sitting out front. And again, but the Eastern Washington Eagles getting caught up on the power play. That one, I don't know if it was so much of a man advantage situation as it was just a pile up in front of the net.
Yeah, they just couldn't locate the puck. And the Orediggers kept their eye on it, and that was your difference on that one. Well, now we'll see how Eastern will bounce back right now. 5-2 game for the Orediggers.
And again, this one is nowhere near over, as we still have lots of time left, just over halfway through this game. And both teams doing very well on the offensive side. Some struggles defensively for both teams. But you can almost see it in the Eagles that maybe the conditioning caught up with them last night to tonight.
I think you did. I think you're totally accurate on that one. I think
bouncing out front and poked in, and they're gonna say a delayed a penalty coming, interference, goaltender interference, no goal. A lucky break there for the Eagles.
But again, we got to keep in mind though, this is only their second game, and the way they played last night, it looked like they were already playing 3 or 4 months, and so I do think fatigue is playing a bit of a factor for them. And I think that the major difference tonight, what I'm seeing right now, Eastern has decided, or it looks like that we're going to play more of a defensive style compared to last night, where they were more of an offensive style. Orediggers are playing the same way both nights. They haven't changed their style one bit.
Now the Eagles having a chance to get back into this one again and cut it down to another 2-goal deficit, as they have the man advantage. It'll be Zakrajcek and two squaring off. I'm sorry, Zakrajcek and Frock. With it is Boring. He's going to wind up taking a shot deflected right out front by Thompson, but right into the chest of the waiting Lucas. The Orediggers doing a good job of maintaining possession in their defensive end and giving their men a chance to get down the ice, not just clearing it. Here comes Zakrajcek. He's got one already. What a move! Shoots and scores! What a move by Trevor Zakrajcek to get his second consecutive goal on the evening. Just 9 seconds into that power play.
Found a little gap in between Lucas's blocker and hip, and it's almost like it was a CNI puck, but that was a nice shot by him. Excellent work. And again, now you see the crowd's back into this again, and it's kind of like it would be nice to see if Eastern can tie this up, because I think the crowd will definitely motivate him to get the lead.
And what a move by Zakrajcek for the second straight goal. He's kind of made it happen himself. He's deked around Lucas, and you mentioned the differences between a left-handed and a right-handed goaltender and kind of the challenges overall for a team facing a left-handed goaltender. And those challenges also extend to a left-handed goaltender, because the game's kind of built around a righty goalie.
Question. No question about it. And Eastern did a nice job last night and so far today of adjusting with that, because, again, your lanes are different, your shot angles are different with a left-handed goalie, and you just don't see left-handed goalies that much.
No, and it looks like Trevor Zakrajcek's kind of figured it out, but I would say that he's figured out the left-handed goalie, but he's scored from the left side of the goal and the right side of the goal. To him, it doesn't really matter which side the stick's on. He's just going to go past it.
Now, he stayed the same. Last night he played an outstanding game. Tonight he's playing really hard, doing a real nice job for Eastern. So he hasn't skipped a beat tonight whatsoever.
I'm not sure what the concern here is again, as the officials, the linesman's talking to Pat Hanlon over there on the bench. You can see that over just to the on the left side of your screen. We got 5 skaters on either side. I'm not sure what the conversation is. You can see the head referee Merrill. He's talking to Dan Stremka, the head coach of Montana Tech. Out there on the ice for the Eagles right now, we've got Shaw, Thompson, Boring, Purley, and I believe that's Clark. And for Montana Tech, we've got Campbell, Young, Culver, Abbott Jr., and Cobber. And here come the Eagles again. Shaw winds up, takes a shot. He had Clark on the other side. And the Eagles doing a good job of getting it down there with 2 men, but through these 2 games, I don't know that I've seen them go across the ice yet.
No, they have not at all. But another player I want to definitely recognize for the Orediggers is Young has had a great game tonight, and he played solid last night also. The guy is just a stay-at-home player, outstanding forward.
And a good save there on the handle of the puck by the Eagles. And losing his edge is Clark. That one stuck to the wall just in front of the official's scoring box, right inside of the official crease. Shaw with a hit, now up to Boring. Boring touched up by Clark in the neutral zone. Clark giving chase all the way down the ice. He's going to come together with Culver. And over into the corner, the Eagles not putting on a heavy forecheck like we've seen so far this season, but still able to maintain possession. A good little dump into the goal there by Purley. Shot wide of the net, that one just a little bit too tall, and now with it is Culver. Culver's going to go behind his own net, and him and Young coming at it again. And another high dump, this one right to the stick of Boring. He's got a man behind him. Fakes one way, and then ends up giving it to Clark. Clark having to get rid of it quickly. Purley now on the low wall. He goes off the glass, trying to get it up right into the skates of Abbott Jr.
I'm starting to wonder if the Orediggers aren't designing their high lifts out of the zone and hoping the bounce will go and they can get a play out of it, because that's like 5 tonight that they've lofted in the air.
Mm-hmm. They're definitely keeping their changing their game plan here in the second period versus what we've seen them do over the next 2 nights. And what a move by Smith, getting the puck free of Abbott Jr. And Smith now tied up in between 2 Orediggers players. His stick stuck just up too high. And we'll see what they call here. I think they're just stopping the play as it got a little bit dangerous there between the 2 players.
Tripke and Ball did a nice job of blocking off Clark, but you got to give him credit because he was trying to go through 2 guys at that particular time.
And
that was a good hustle.
Smith did a good job of getting that puck past Abbott, and there just happened to be an Oredigger right behind him. If there was nobody there, Smith would have had a chance there at goal.
Yeah, Tripke did a nice job of stepping in on that one.
Minnerin takes a shot from the face-off circle through the legs of several players. 7:08 left to go here in this second period. A good opportunity there for the Eagles again.
It's been an entertaining game, even though it's a little bit slower offensively tonight for both clubs, but it has been an entertaining game. It is more of a defensive struggle right now.
Well, we have an update from Washington Grizzly Stadium in Missoula, Montana. The Eastern Washington Eagles take the lead over the Montana Grizzlies, 41-34, just over 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter of that one. We'll keep you up to date there. The Chiefs and Cougars up in Prince George. Spokane still leading 3-1 during the second intermission. Right here, a chance for Stevenson. Fires a shot. Again, a second shot. Gets his own rebound. It bounces right back to him. And that kid's hands. A chance there by Michael. Fires a shot. Eastern Washington, some good chances there on the rebound. They definitely want to get this back within a 1-goal deficit before they head into the locker room. But as I was saying, Stevenson, he's got some good hands for a big man. That's not necessarily something you're used to seeing.
No, he does. He has great hand-eye coordination. You got to give kudos to Smith on that one down there just right now. He stuck with it and did a really nice job of tracking it. But again, Lucas is playing really well tonight. He's standing up, taking everything that comes at him.
6:24 to go here in the second period. Diggers lead at 5-3 over the hometown Eastern Washington Eagles. This one been every bit as good as the game last night. The crowd that came back tonight has definitely been treated to a show. Browning leaves it back for Zakrajcek. Zakrajcek looking for that 3rd goal on the night, and now here comes Blasek. He's coming up the near side. On the far side, he's got Cobber. He's going to push it right on net. Cobber still waiting on the far side. Blasek loses his stick. And that's going to be a slash. Yes, it is. Eastern Washington putting themselves in this position again.
Boring did a nice job of riding the player off. It was unfortunate that he came down on top of his stick because I think he took him out. He drove him behind the net, and he just got his stick down a little bit too hard on it.
Now the Eagles having to kill off another penalty, which has not been their friend so far this season. And we'll see this same setup with Onstad up top. You've got Thrall on the far side, this time skating way in there before he released his shot. But Thrall back to Onstad. Onstad going to go near side to Frock. Frock back. Oh, he's going to try and go all the way across to Thrall. Thrall back up to the point, near side to Frock. Frock tries to feed it right to the center, and it deflects back to Onstad. Onstad now far side to Thrall. He's a little bit deeper than he has been. Skates it forward. Ball handles that one easily. McKay trying to clear that out. Can't get it any further than Thrall. A good deflection there by Ouellette in the center of the zone. Ouellette coming out a little bit, trying to disrupt that play at the top of the zone where Onstad is. Bouncing puck. Swing, and Zakrajcek able to get it into the neutral zone with a minute 13 left. Ouellette giving chase there, heavy on the forecheck. He's got to hurry up and get back now. 2 players already down the ice. A 3-on-2 opportunity here for the Diggers. Right out front, a shot by, that was Young. He got his own rebound off of the shins of an Eagles player, took another shot just wide of the net and back to Thrall. Thrall down to Young. A swing and a miss by the Eagles and back into the neutral zone. An odd setup there for Onstad. He'd been inside the zone. This time he was almost all the way into the face-off circle. He kind of knew that puck was going to get sent back out to him.
If you notice on this power play right now, Tech is shooting at the high slot. Everything is up high with them. They're not going down low this time around. And it has worked on them. They've had 5 shots off of that formation.
And 30 seconds left to go on this Hayden Boring minor penalty. A 2-minute minor for slashing. This could be the last push for the Orediggers here with the man advantage. Here comes Onstad into the Eagles zone across their line. A shot blockered away by Ball fairly easily. Smith over there in the corner. Now some pushing and shoving up top. And a good move by Browning. Eastern Washington 4, 3, 2, 1. A good grab there by Ball right at the expiration of that penalty. So we'll get 5-on-5 hockey here coming off of the face-off.
Yeah, Ball did a great job of tracking that because it was a knuckle puck on that one, and it looked like it was changing directions a couple times, and he kept his eye on it and snagged it. That was a good glove hand on his part.
And we're going to have a face-off on the far side underneath the Roost Restaurant. 4:02 left here in the second period. At 5-3 Diggers lead, but Eastern Washington looking to come back. A dangerous puck out front there, but Pluswa could not hold on to it. Had he had any handle on that puck, he would have had any spot on the net that he wanted. Maiko giving chase to Abbott Jr. A big hit. They're going to say offside here as Minderman never got back onside. Here we go. Into the neutral zone. He's got the puck. He gives it away, and now Minderman with it again behind his own net. He's going to play it off the wall, ahead. Skating back towards his own bench was Culver. He decided to go for the puck instead. Now down low is Pluswa. Coming away with it is Stevenson. Stevenson looking to make one-man miss, goes the other way. He's got Maiko in front of him. Maiko's got some wheels. He touches it up just enough for Culver to touch it and give the Eagles a chance to get a line change on here with the long shift in the second period. Or the long change here in the second period. With it now is Young. A good dive there by Jeffs, getting that away from the stick of Young and then standing back up and still fighting for it. That's the drill that they teach you in mites. Get to your knees and get right back up. Well done by Jeffs.
Oh, very strong game by Jeffs tonight.
And Thompson loses the puck as Warman tries his best Superman dive to knock that away. Coming up with it now is Abbott Jr. Abbott Jr. now to Campbell. Campbell, he's going to pass it across the ice, but a good poke check there by Tyler O'Donnell. O'Donnell with it. He's going to feed it near side to Purley. Purley going to give chase. And now with it is O'Donnell. O'Donnell back to Purley. O'Donnell rocked after the play there. And as we said before, a converted goalie, that's his least favorite part of skating out. And now Shaw looking to turn on the Jets as he's trying to beat Tripke. Tripke gets there first, but Shaw slows him down enough to get a line change on for his team. Clark now with the heavy forecheck pressure. Browning there as well. A little bit of interference there, run by Campbell. Browning with it. He's going to turn it the other direction. Coming in is Zakrajcek. Zakrajcek fires just wide of the net. The Eagles looking to get a line change on here and maybe caught off guard. Here comes Cobber. Cobber has it knocked away by Ouellette. Cobber and Ouellette still fighting for it in the corner. A good hip check there by Purley. That one bounces right out front, and Ball wisely just covers it up. He's not even worried about knocking that away. He's had too many of those tonight that have ended up in the back of the net.
One thing I noticed tonight with Zakrajcek, he has a little more pep in his step tonight. He's moving extremely well on the ice.
Yeah, Zakrajcek definitely is looking to get that third goal and help his team get back into it. But he seems like a different player tonight. You're right.
Totally. He's a lot quicker tonight than he was last night. He had a strong game last night, too.
And tucked up into the corner again. We've got just under 90 seconds to go here in Cheney in the second period of a very exciting second game of the weekend for the Eastern Washington Eagles. A good move there by the Eagles to pull that puck out by Zakrajcek. Gets it right back into the neutral zone to Onstad, who sends it into the corner. 65 seconds to go here in the second period. McKay to Ouellette. Ouellette had Zakrajcek, who is now holding his wrist and heading to the bench. That's not good news for the Eagles. Zakrajcek having a little bit of a tough time getting over the wall. That is not what they need here in this game. Smith, a big hit there by Smith. Not something you see from the young man on Onstad. Smith having a very good game tonight as well. McKay with it. He's going to send it from the far side into the near side corner. They're going to say no icing. Boring looks to line up Pluswa, and he does. Able to keep the puck in the attacking zone, at least for a moment. Minderman skating the wrong direction. McKay now trying to get it away from Thrall. Minderman and Thrall fighting for the puck high into the air, bouncing into the neutral zone. Minderman not letting it up. He chops it down into the corner with less than 20 seconds to go. Eastern Washington right out front to Smith. Smith just couldn't get his stick to it. Smith now with it. He gets it to Minderman. Smith almost caught on the blind side. And again, that rocket shot by Minderman into the skates of Young. Young looking to take it goal side. Shot just too tall, 2-1. That is going to do it for the second period of action. And I don't want an intermission right now, Gary. This period just got pretty exciting.
Yeah, they both started to turn up the intensity on this. I was just thinking how fitting it would be if Eastern won the football game against Montana and the Eagles come back on the Orediggers, win that. Wouldn't that be an interesting?
Well, let's give you an update here on that game, and it looks like the football team is going to pull it off. 48-34, just over 2 minutes left in the game, 2:12 to be exact. So it looks like the Eagles are going to come back in Washington Grizzly Stadium there over in Missoula, Montana. But we're going to step aside. We're going to give you a chance to breathe. We're going to take a chance to breathe. Teams are going to relax for 20 minutes, and we're going to come back with what could be the most exciting third period of hockey all night long and maybe all season long. Stick around. We'll be right back. I'm Tyler Pisani, joined by Gary Allen and our cameraman, Joe Pumphrey. You're watching Eastern Washington University men's ACHA hockey. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at the Eastern Washington University Recreation Center for the third period of what's been so far. Heck, we've had 6 periods of exciting hockey already.
Extremely.
3.5 yesterday, 2 so far today. And right now, this is for all the marbles. Montana Tech leading the Eastern Washington Eagles 5-3. My name's Tyler Pisani, joined alongside me by Gary Allen. Hearing some yelling down there by the chute. Those fans are excited.
Well, the crowd's just waiting right now to erupt. You can sense it in the building. They're waiting for Eastern to come out hard. One person I'm looking at right now, who I think's had a really good game tonight, played well yesterday, is Morgan Olette. He is having a strong performance. So I would not be surprised to see him put the puck in the net tonight at all. But Eastern's going to have to turn it up just a hair on offense. But beyond that, again, it's a very good hockey game. Evenly matched teams. Shot differential's 19, but still in the Orediggers' favor. But still, that's not indicative of how this game's went.
And we'll be going the Eagles in the black and red uniforms from left to right. Montana Tech in the white uniforms moving from right to left.
But I've noticed both these teams, they actually do have a lot of self-discipline, because it got a little chippy earlier in the second period tonight. It was real physical last night, and no one's really lost their composure, except for that one little scrum in the first period. But they've done a nice job of keeping their emotions in check tonight.
And here we go, starting off the period for the Eagles. Zakrajcek, Ouellette, Browning, Jeffs, and Boring. Browning a good chance here. Eagles have started each of the 3 periods with a good offensive rush. They started off the game 3 shots in the first few minutes.
They come out with a good push at the start of each period right now.
And on the ice for the Orediggers, we've got Warman, Campbell, Young, Tyler Stremka, and Tyler Onstadt. The stoppage there as we are 33 seconds into this third period. The Eagles need a quick one here so that they can stay on top of it and hopefully cut into this deficit. Again, if you're in Cheney and you can't make it down here, be sure to join us at the Barrel House Pub and Pizza, 122 College Avenue after the game for the official post-game party for the Eastern Washington Eagles. And if you were here and you left, now you're at home watching. I don't know why you would do that, but if you still have your ticket, you get 10% off your bill tonight down there at the Barrel House Pub and Pizza. Here comes Maiko. He comes into the Orediggers' end. He's going to look to go backhand underneath the pads, and he almost snuck one in there.
There's no question.
As Lucas didn't get his pads down quick enough.
Lucas definitely was surprised by that, and it was just a little flutter on the backhand on that, and it almost snuck in.
And here go the Eagles again in the Orediggers' end. We'll see Smith at the face-off center, or at the face-off dot against Connor Frock. Frock going to win that battle. Now we push ahead. Here come the Orediggers through the neutral zone. A mishandled puck by Thrall, not something we've seen very often. Thrall and Minderman behind the play. Right here at center ice, they end up on top of each other as an inconsequential puck heads down the ice, and now Minderman with it. Him and Cobber going at it. Smith now, he's going to cut through the center of the ice, looking to make a move, and couldn't get it past Abbott Jr., and now here comes Thrall. Thrall across the blue line, looks for it, winds up, knocked away by Ball. On the far side now is Thompson. Thompson looks to feed it ahead. A big hit there by Thompson on Cobber, and I think maybe it looked a little bit bigger as Cobber kind of lost his balance and pushing and shoving in front of the Eastern Washington bench on the far side. And I believe that's going to be an offside.
Well, Thrall definitely took exception to whatever happened on that far side of the rink.
And we do have an update on the Eastern Washington football game. They did beat the Montana Grizz in the opening game of Big Sky play, 48-41 over there in Missoula. As far as the Chiefs go, they're still leading 3-1 over the Prince George Cougars. 6 minutes left in that game. And here we've got 18:05 remaining in this third period.
It would be fitting for the Eagles to come back and win this game. That'd be nice. Both football team and hockey team win tonight.
Absolutely, and in comeback fashion. Eastern Washington, though, they're going to have to score here quickly so that they've got some time to get that second one. Purley with it. He's going to go off the wall. Shaw too far back deep to receive that pass. And this one's getting physical in the neutral zone by both teams. Purley with it now. He's got a high dump. Again, nobody there for him as his team's recovering fairly well on defense and getting back into their own zone, which is nice, but Purley's expecting his players to be further down the ice. This time plays it off the wall, picking it up is Stevenson. He kind of skates away from that hit from Blasick. A little bit gun shy there going through the neutral zone. Coming out of it is Blasick with the puck. He fires a shot wide of the net. And Erickson, he's going to look to use his body behind the play. We've talked about this. Erickson a little bit slow, but a big man out there on the ice, especially forward. If they can get him in the attacking zone. And now down on the ice is Kapelke. And he's still hurt. That was a big elbow right to the face. And that's going to be a penalty call. We'll figure out exactly what happened. Kapelke is not in good sorts at the moment. We'll hopefully have an update on him as soon as possible. See the trainer following him to the bench. He just needed to sit down. The official raised his hand like there was going to be a penalty, but they ended up not calling one. And after the roughing call on Minderman earlier on just the hit, you would think that a forearm to the cage would warrant something from Merrill, but nothing to come of it, even though he stopped the play. Some curious calls here from the officials tonight. Not necessarily bad, just ones that kind of make you scratch your head. A good spin-around shot there by Browning. Jeffs with it. And he loses it into the skates of Warman. With it now is Boring. Boring and Warman fighting for it in the corner. Warman loses his stick, ends up doing a handstand there in the corner, and now just pushing Boring. Up now to Browning. Browning can't hold on to it. All the way back to Tyler Stremka, who puts it down behind the net. With it is Jeffs. Jeffs behind his own net, 16.5 to go here in this game. That one off of the skate of an Orediger player all the way back up to Tyler Stremka in the neutral zone. Jeffs with it again behind his own net. Jeffs on the far side. He's looking for somebody here on the near side. Browning gets it up off of his skates. He's going to go across the blue line. He fires a shot right into the shins. A good rebound there by Morgan Ouellette. He was looking for his second of the night. Browning has it behind the net. He's going to try and poke it home right out front, and Ouellette just a stride too far there to be able to recover that. Cobber now. McKay, some good defense. Cobber puts it right where he should have, but nobody there for him. That one held up right at the blue line. Now with it into the corner is Jeffs. Jeffs, a nice hip check there in the corner, but nothing to come of it in terms of possession for the Eagles. With it now is McKay and Cobber behind the net. Cobber getting a little bit more playing time here in the third period. We saw that last night as well. Coming through the neutral zone, Ouellette, he's got a rocket. He's going to fire it from the middle of the neutral zone. Picking it up is Smith. Smith gets a touch on it before he gets knocked into the boards. Now on the far side, picking it up. I believe that was Blasick. And we're going to have a delayed call on Smith for a rough. Oh no, I apologize. On Onstop for a rough. So the Eagles going to have a power play here. Their first one of the third period. The last time they went on the power play, they found the back of the net, and they found it quickly. Just 20 seconds into the power play. They're going to try and do that again 4 minutes and 42 seconds of the third period as Onstop's going to sit for a rough.
I'm telling you, keep an eye out on Ouellette. I'm serious. The guy, he is all over the net, and he looks like he has his stride going really strong right now.
And Smith has his pocket picked, and now heading the other way is Plustois, and he goes top shelf.
That one hurts, Tyler. That one right there hurts. That was an unforced turnover.
Bad turnover there at the blue line, and Plustois just picked a spot. And again, ball just hit the deck a little bit too early. Montana State's noticing that going up top.
I have noticed a change in Montana Tech right now. They're going into almost like a zone. They're sending one person in, and they're having three guys back on their blue line, making sure everything stays in front of them. And so they're definitely going into almost like a prevent defensive style to try to wear out some of the clock.
And again, a conversation with the with the head coach of the Eagles. I'm not sure why there's so many conversations here between the officials and the head coaches tonight. I think a lot of it has to do with the scoreboard. The penalty disappeared there for a second, but looks like it's back now. But it is now 6-3 in favor of the Orediggers. And Eastern Washington building themselves a hole that they're going to have to climb out of pretty quickly here with just 15 minutes to go in this third period. And this really, if you look at it over 2 days, it's a 10-7 deficit as the two teams tied yesterday, 4-4. That game really inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. Eastern Washington just looking to get back a couple here and keep themselves in it heading down the home stretch.
They need to score within the next 5 minutes. This crowd is just waiting to explode right now. You can sense it, you can see it. They're just waiting for something to get roaring about. And Eastern's going to definitely have to take some chances now. With 15:02 left in the game, down by 3, they cannot continue to play a defensive style game.
And now back with it is Purley. Purley's going to feed it ahead to Browning. Browning off of the wall. He's not going to be able to hold on to it, but waiting now at center ice was Boring. He picked up that. Boring, now back to Zakrajcek. He's already got 2. Zakrajcek ahead to Boring. Boring's got Ouellette streaking through the middle, and instead he puts a high puck, trying to put it into the attacking end, and instead right into the netting. 1:32 left to go on the power play, 14:50 left to go in this third period of the second game of the weekend. A good opening series for these two teams. They tied last night 4-4 after some confusion. But now a chance for one of the teams to go home as a victor. At the moment it's looking like the Orediggers, but the Eagles, I know they are not done yet tonight.
No, and it'd be nice to see Eastern now take a little bit of a gamble, like I was saying earlier, and maybe shoot down a defenseman a little bit more, get it on the offensive zone, and see if they can put some pressure on Lucas that way.
Well, and out on the ice for the Eagles, they've got a very forward-thinking crew. Boring, Jeffs, Browning, Zakrajcek, and Ouellette. And the typical penalty kill out there for the Orediggers of Abbott, Campbell, Culver, and Young. Big hit there behind the net. Very aggressive play for the Orediggers here with a man deficit, but they were able to just score shorthanded here just a moment ago on an unforced turnover. And now Young comes away with it. Eastern Washington with a chance at a 3-on-1 here. Ouellette streaking down the middle. I'm sorry, a 3-on-2. Ouellette trying to get it over to Browning. Browning just backhands it in just enough, and already getting back is Boring. He was already skating back on defense, wasn't able to get there for any attacking support. Now here comes Boring up the near side wall. He's going to dump it in just off of the glass, knocked down by Abbott Jr. Boring knocks him off the puck. Abbott Jr. and Boring going at it. Zakrajcek back up to Clark, and Clark just under a stick. Back into the neutral zone. The Eagles have to reset with 27 seconds left on that power play clock. Clark now, he does just enough to knock Frock off of the puck. And that was good because that could have been dangerous for the Eagles. That one sent back now to Tripke. And it almost looks like, if you didn't count the players, this almost looks like a penalty kill for the Eagles instead of the Orediggers.
Absolutely no question about that. Again, Montana, what they're doing, the Tech team, is they're sending one guy in, keeping one guy in the high slot, and they've got the 2D back, and they're putting a lot of pressure on the forward.
Here comes Stevenson. He goes right through the legs of a player, then ends up down on the ice. That one right into the gut of Zakrajcek, out to Stevenson. And back to five-a-side hockey. Dangerous here for the Eagles as Thrall comes across the blue line. He's going to take it net front. Blocker down by Ball, but he was a little slow to get back over to the other post. No damage done there, though.
Ball did a nice job of tracking that puck.
Most definitely. That one dangerous off of the skates of Stevenson. And we've got to get Clark his skates sharpened, because that's the third or fourth time this game that he's just missed an edge out there all by himself. With it now, he's got it. He's going to send it back the other way. Ouellette has it. Clark ended up down onto the ice. That one going to get into the neutral zone. Shaw, a big hit right in front of the penalty box for the Eagles. He got his leg tied up there with one of the Orediggers players. Stevenson fires a shot. What a shot from Stevenson at the blue line, but a good save there by Max Lucas. using his glove to reach out and snag that one.
That was definitely a bullet from the top of the circle. Again, Steven, he just has a real smooth game about him. He's been a little quieter tonight, but again, if he gets some open eyes, he is dangerous.
And we do want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Barrel House broadcast tonight. Be sure, if you ever come out to an Eastern Washington game, to take your ticket stub over there to Barrel House at 122 College Avenue for 10% off your bill tonight. It is Barrel House, the official post-game headquarters for your Eastern Washington Eagles. It'll be Shaw and Blasick in the face-off circle on the far side of the ice. Linesman having a conversation again with the Eastern Washington bench. I know Pat Hanlon, a very vocal coach on the bench. That's a nice way to put it.
He's animated. How's that? That's
yes,
another way
yes.
you can say it.
I will say he's very vocal, but he's very respectful. I've only seen him get tossed off the bench once.
Oh, you can definitely tell he has the squad ready to play this year. They look a little bit sluggish right now in this third period, but they're still playing hard.
This one now, O'Donnell, he's going to go to the far side to McKay. McKay feeds it up. A nice, easy pass there to Thompson, who lost it. And now O'Donnell, a chop at the puck. He's still got it. Back up into the neutral zone. And the Orediggers really controlling the momentum, the possession, the tempo of this third period.
Well, they're definitely playing a keep-away game right now. They're just working on the clock now. They're not worrying about the score.
Good move there by Minderman, who's knocked down in the center of the neutral zone. Abbott Jr. has it, and now coming up through the neutral zone is Frock. He's going to fire a shot on that, easily handled by Ball. Minderman looking to use one Ordigger against the other. Now behind the net goes McKay. McKay is going to turn and fire it to Maiko. Maiko, he's got Minderman through the center of the zone, but Minderman can't hold on to that pass. Minderman looking to throw his body around here late in this one. Picking it up is Campbell. Campbell, a shot off of the blocker of Ball. Now back with it is Frock. Over to McKay in the far corner. McKay looking to move around. Finally gets it over to Maiko, still in the corner. And coming through the zone is Minderman to pick it up. And now McKay and Smith, a 2-on-3. McKay going to take a shot from the neutral zone. And again with the glove, easily handled by Lucas.
Well, we'll see what kind of options that Eastern will decide to throw at the Orediggers right now. The action is definitely slowed down the pace, as right now there's 10:33 left in the game. Eastern's going to have to start taking some chances, like I said earlier. They've got to generate some offense.
And that's Thrall, just like a wrecking ball, right through the center of every Eastern player off the face-off circle. It really made it almost the length of the ice.
He seems to be everywhere on the ice. He's a forward, a defenseman. He is in every play, it seems like, throughout the last two games. That's why we said his name so much, because he's always constantly around that puck.
Most definitely, and that's going to come back out into the neutral zone here. 10-11 to go, and an update on that Spokane Chiefs-Prince George Cougar game. The Chiefs pulling away 5-1 with 19 seconds to go. Safe to say the team from Spokane going to be 2-0 at the end of tonight.
They are having a good year so far this year. It looks like they may be strong.
That is a good start. Hudson Elenick, a goal and an assist tonight, a goal and an assist last night. Look at that, a good move by the Eagles. Morgan Ouellette, how about that? Another goal for that young man this evening.
And as you can hear right now, the crowd, they were just waiting for something to stand up and cheer about. Now we'll see. Now if Eastern keeps getting a good push in the next 2-3 minutes, take the Orediggers out of their defensive stance, their delay.
And look at that, you hear the crowd getting loud in here. This team knows who they're playing for, and they're playing for these fans here in the seats that came out to watch them tonight. That goal coming 9:57 of the third period.
Next 2 minutes are crucial for Eastern. They got to try to pop another one. Then the whole momentum shifts over to Eastern.
And that is Ouellette's second goal of the game. So him and Zakrajcek accounting for all 4 goals that are on the board for the Eagles so far tonight. And with it now is Zakrajcek. Him and Morgan there in the offensive end. That one off of the boards, and they almost come together. A little miscommunication there, but Ouellette still has the puck. He finally has it taken away. The Orediggers send it back down the ice, and Frock picks it up. There's still plenty of time to go in this game. 9:23 according to the clock. the Orediggers out shooting the Eagles quite a bit tonight, 39-22. That's a testament to Tegan Ball, who still has 33 saves on the night.
Yeah, he's having a strong game. Don't let the scores, he's giving up 6, but they're not all on him. Ouellette, I had a feeling he was going to come through on a goal.
And I know that Ouellette's been waiting for this for quite a while. Stevenson now, he's just going to fire a rocket on net and just a little bit off. Shaw has it. He's going to give it down to Kapelke. It's good to see Kapelke back out there. He was the one that got hit out there in the neutral zone and limped back to the bench. Eastern Washington doing a good job keeping it in the attacking zone here. Very heavy forecheck by the Eagles. And Stevenson wisely, he pokes it towards Lucas. Lucas wisely covers that up.
Well, you can see that goal definitely shifted the momentum on Eastern's side. They definitely have about 2 or 3 extra steps while the Orediggers are trying to figure out, okay, we're going to have to change our style. Eastern's putting some heat on them right now.
And now taking the face-off for the Eagles is Maiko. For the Orediggers is Young. Maiko comes away with the face-off win. A shot and a very bad bounce for the Eagles. Getting back is Purley. And the Orediggers actually offsides there. A miscommunication and a lucky break for the team from Cheney.
Excellent job by Purley, though. He played that the best he could to split up the 2 Orediggers and drew the offside on it. That was a nice play by him.
8:45 to go as we tick down towards the end of this one. Again, last night the game ended in a 4-4 tie after an overtime. The Eagles would be, I think at this point, thrilled going to overtime, getting those 2 more goals here in regulation. Even more thrilled if they come up with 3.
No question about that.
Smith tied up with Young, and that's going to be another offside call for the Orediggers. We saw this a little bit last night, late in the game. The Orediggers kind of push ahead a little strong in the third period, and we saw 3 or 4 consecutive offside calls for them right about the same time last night.
Well, Easton's doing a nice job of standing them up at the blue line, and that's just causing some trouble for the Orediggers.
This time a good face-off win by Smith. Boring's going to take a shot in the neutral zone. That one not handled by Lucas. The first time we've seen that this weekend. And now Jeffs, he's got to give chase. Boring's there to help him out. Boring has a man on his back. That's Warman. Warman pushes it ahead. Culver gets the puck tied up in the skates of a linesman there. And Boring, he has it kicked away by Campbell. With it is Jeffs now behind his own net. He's got Minderman on the low wall. That's where he tried to go, and Warman knew where he was going, so he just closed his legs, used his body to get in front of him there. Smith has it. He uses his body to fend off an attacker for the Orediggers, and now with it is Smith. He's got Maiko on the far side. Smith wisely dumping it down into the corner, getting some fresh skates here on the ice. Near side now to Abbott Jr. He's going to push it over to the far side. Now into the neutral zone. Picking it up is Young. Young's going to skate it along the far side. Tipped up into the netting with 7:40 to go here in Cheney. 6-4, the Orediggers leading over the Eastern Washington Eagles, but this one is far from over.
Well, Eastern definitely shifted the ice to their favor. They have a little bit more pep, and they're making Montana Tech a little bit. They're on their heels slightly because, again, the momentum shifted after that goal, and we'll see what happens here in the next minute with Eastern if they're going to get back in it.
And here comes the Eagles. Browning has it. He's got Ouellette in the middle. Zakrychek on the other side, and that glove again by Lucas. A good grab there.
He's extremely hard. Lucas, that's what I've noticed the last 2 days. If you shoot at his glove, you're going to have a very small percentage of a chance to get that in. He's got a very quick glove hand for him. You're going to have to go blocker side.
And again, that's the difference between a left-handed or right-handed goaltender. Is normally you say blocker side, they're thinking, okay, I got to shoot it at the right side or at the left side of the net. And now with it is Purley. He's going to fire it into the far corner. Picking it up is McKay on the far wall. He's just going to chop it back down to Shaw behind the net. Shaw looking for somebody out front. A shot by Stevenson, and that was a good opportunity. Shaw lost his glove. He caught a stick somewhere that it shouldn't have been. Shaw skating back to the bench now. That one right out front to Thompson. Thompson can't hold on to it. Eastern Washington back to 5 guys on the ice. Shaw lost his glove. He looks like he's in a little bit of pain on the bench, but Eastern Washington, they need to focus on the matter at hand at the moment, and that's getting another goal. Kicked back up to Stevenson, and now with it is Frock.
Tick dodged a good one on that one. That was a nice shot.
Most certainly. Now the puck directly in front of us. Picking it up is Blasek. He's going to play it all the way back to Tyler Stremka. Stremka fires it into the neutral zone. They're going to say that it was not touched, and that will be an icing. 6:38 to go here in this third period. The officials having a conversation with several players from each team, trying to figure out exactly what's going on and what the call was there.
Well, I'm with you, Tyler. I can't remember seeing this many conferences with the officials than I have seen today's game. It's like almost every other time there's a play, they have a little conference on a call on what they were wondering.
And I know just locally in the referee association, there's been a little bit of turnover. So this could be the first time these guys have ever worked together. But still, the amount of conferences leads you to, I don't want to say question their judgment, but just be a little cautious on what you do and not necessarily leave it into the hands of the referees.
You got to wonder a little bit. How's that? We'll just leave it at that.
Now boring into the far corner as we tick under 6.5 minutes here in Cheney. Maiko on the far side. He's going to backhand it to O'Donnell. O'Donnell picking it up in the low wall. O'Donnell looking to give it away, and he just holds on to it for a second too long. Montana Tech doing a good job of getting the puck to the front of the net. Luckily for the Eagles, there's nobody there. O'Donnell with it again. He's going to chop it across the ice. Too far in front of Boring, and a good chop down by Thrall. Now Maiko has it. Maiko backhands it to Minderman. Minderman's going to take it up the far side. He puts it just a touch too far in front of him, and Tripke picks it up back into the neutral zone. And Purley lines up a hit on Cobber, and that leaves the puck free at least for a moment. Purley has it again, gets it into the attacking zone. Eastern Washington really looking for that fifth goal, and that's going to make a difference in the strategy here. That'll be an icing call, a strategy here as we head towards the end of the game.
But I'll tell you one thing again, I mentioned it earlier in this game. Purley's having an outstanding, actually 2 nights he's played outstanding hockey for Eastern. And he's standing up the Orediggers really well, and I think they've almost went away from his side just because he is playing such a strong game right now.
We're going to see Zakrajcek back out there in the face-off dot. He's got 2 goals on the night. He is going to square off. I believe that's against Onstad, and there's a timeout there by Montana Tech. But I think they're just trying to get a handle on their guys and not let this one get away. Oh, I'm sorry, that was actually on the Eagles. Looked like they pointed to the other bench for a second, but always pay attention to what they're doing in the officials' crease, not what they're doing way out in the middle of the ice.
Well, it's a good idea by the Easterns coach because give them a little breather and then put on a big push for the next 2-3 minutes and see if they can snap Lucas a little bit, because right now he's been on top of his game the whole night, and it's really difficult to get an angle on.
The score as it sits, 6-4 in favor of Montana Tech, out shooting the Eagles 39-22. At least that's what the board says. I feel like it said 39 for the Diggers here for quite a while.
I think it's safe to say you could add an extra couple, 2 or 3 shots onto that total.
And again, that's just a testament to the prowess of Tegan Ball there in net.
Yes, he's having a very good game tonight. Very solid in net for the Eagles.
And a face-off win for the Orediggers coming off of that timeout. With it is Abbott Jr. behind his own net. He's going to feed it right into the center of the neutral zone, and Purley ends up on his back there. He was paying more attention to the puck there than the man, which is not something that's typical of Colin Purley. He's usually got the man lined up before the puck, and a bad turnover for the Eagles, and that's not good news. Again, another unforced turnover in the defensive end.
And that's what's really hurting Eastern tonight. They've had given up 4 goals on unforced turnovers. And you just can't win a hockey game doing it that way. And I'm sure the coach will address that situation before their next game.
Yeah, so when you look at it, this team really, last night it came down to power play goals, and tonight it's come down to unforced turnovers in the defensive end. 2 very, very correctable things as we head forward. I mean, remember, this is still just the first weekend of the season.
Yeah, Eastern has definitely made a few more errors tonight than they did last night that are more costly going in tonight. They didn't hurt them that much last night.
Browning's going to roll that all along the red runner there. Good move there by Ouellette. Eastern Washington now, they're going to have to put a heavy, heavy pressure. And that's going to be a penalty on the Orediggers, I would assume.
They may both go on that one. They were jostling pretty hard in the corner.
That is a very good point.
Well, we know the Orediggers got one, and it looks like Young's going in.
Young headed to the box again. This one coming 15-11 of the third period.
Nope, Young's the only one that's going to get one on that one.
And this is, if the Eagles are going to come back, this is the time. You got to convert on the special teams, and they got to convert quick. They've got Ouellette and Zakrajcek both out there. The two men responsible for all 4 goals. Purley out there as well. He had a goal last night. They're going to feed that ahead to Browning. Browning tips it into the corner. Picking it up now is Culver. Culver, he gives it away to his own man. Eastern Washington not able to get possession there as Zakrajcek lines up a man as the puck goes the length of the ice with 1:40 remaining in the penalty. Coming up the near side now is Purley. He tries to feed it out to a man in the center, and there's nobody there. Eastern Washington, a lot of passes with their head down today. Good, strong passes, just not to anybody. With it now is Boring. Boring's got a couple of men in front of him. They slow down just enough for him to get over the blue line. The Eagles looking for another penalty there, but they weren't going to get it. Another dangerous turnover. Ball's going to get it, slow it down. He may just have to cover this one up, and that's what he does. 1:08 to go here on this power play for the Eagles. 3:57 to go here in Cheney.
And that is a difference between last night's game and tonight's game. And you were mentioning that the Eagles have their heads down more. They're doing a lot of blind passing also that they didn't do last night, and it's costing them a little bit on turnovers.
Really, this team's only been together for 2 weeks, so a lot of it is still just feeling it out, learning where your teammates are going to be, the style that they play. And you can see some of the veteran players, they have that connection, but when it comes to guys like Browning or good move there through the neutral zone, Browning or Maiko, when they're on the ice at the same time as Zakrajcek and Boring and Purley, they haven't played together that much. I
think there's nothing but upside for this Eagles team this year. They are going to be extremely strong. They're struggling a little bit tonight, but they got a lot of talent this year.
This one up and into the netting. They're going to say that was deflected, so that'll stay in the Orediggers' end with 3:13 to go here in Cheney. And as a testament to these hockey fans in Cheney, I'd say we still have 70% of the crowd that we started with tonight.
Easily.
There's 3 minutes left. There's 3 goals that need to be had, and they're still here supporting their team.
But I think that's important what you said, Tyler. This is only the second game for the Eagles, and it's like they're a solid hockey team. They're going to get stronger as the year goes on.
And the 2-on-2 opportunity here for the Orediggers, and that's not good news.
That was probably the only goal I say tonight that ball had difficulties with that he wished he would have back. The rest of them he's played really strong with, even though they went in, but that one.
I just don't think he was ready for a shot. He was looking for the pass, and well, it ended up right at him.
Well, I think you hit it right there on the head. I think he was thinking the game too much rather than focus on the puck. He was guessing they were going to pass it, and they did. They just buried it in the net.
And that one, the second shorthanded goal of the night for Montana Tech.
Again, there's an unforced turnover.
Dangerous play there by Boring. He laid down to try and block that shot, and instead almost ended up bouncing off of him back into the goal after the save by Ball. With it now is Purley. He's behind the net. I know Zakrajcek and Ouellette, they're still looking to score, and so are the Eagles. There's not a lot of time left, but I've seen crazier things happen.
Oh, no, they haven't quit at all. There's no quit in this team. You can see that.
And I think as we talked about last night, it may just come down to fitness. This team only being together for 2.5 weeks at this point, that's not a whole lot of time to get back into hockey shape.
Hockey shape's different than most people would think. It is real difficult to get yourself into game time conditioning. But I do want to say before the game ends, if you're an Eagles fan, you have got nothing but excitement, joy, whatever else you want to work. They are going to be strong this year. So if you can't, come out and support them, because this is a good hockey team that you guys got right now.
Well,
very good.
Next week they open up NORPAC conference play at Western Washington. Those two teams, the Eagles and the Vikings, played in the championship game last year. There you go, Browning. He's going through the neutral zone.
Now that is a bitter rivalry with that Western outfit. That should be an interesting series over there.
And as I was saying, there you go, right through the neutral zone. That's what the Eagles needed to do. Be a little tongue-tied here late in the second game of the weekend.
Yeah, that'll be a good series against Western. I think you're going to see a lot different results this year with the Eagles against that club.
And the next broadcast for us, a home game, October 6th and 7th. Again, NORPAC play against the Portland State University Vikings here at the University Recreation Center. And those games, in fact, Friday night, October 6th, it'll be at 7 o'clock. On Saturday, October 7th, an early 3 o'clock start time as the British Columbia Hockey League team on campus. Here's Zakrajcek. He's looking to make something happen. Fires a shot just off the side of the cage, looking to feed it back out front. The British Columbia Hockey League, Intercollegiate Hockey League team, they open up their home season next Saturday, or that Saturday, October 7th. Here, and you can watch that game on fasthockey.com. But again, get out here. Zakrajcek, a chance to get it into the net for a third time tonight. Some good pushing and shoving there for the Eagles. And now a hand over the back of Zakrajcek by Tyler Stremka. And I know they've been going back and forth all weekend. Zakrajcek, one of the bigger guys on the ice, so he attracts a lot of attention.
Yes, he does. I've noticed that even with yesterday. They focused on him quite a bit. But he does have a physical part of his game that obviously is a strong suit for him. But I'm going to piggyback off what you said, Tyler. If you're a hockey fan and you're anywhere near Cheney, you got to come out and watch this club. They are a solid unit.
It is. It's $5 to get in the door out here, and that is a bargain when it comes to collegiate hockey, especially at the level that these guys are going to be playing this season. O'Donnell using his body for the first time really this weekend. And that's going to get stuck up against the wall with 42.9 seconds to go. I think it's safe to say that after everything that's been said and done, at least the Eagles are consistent. 4 goals last night, 4 goals tonight. And it really came down to, as you said, really 4 unforced turnovers in the defensive end. And that's what led to those additional 4 goals for the Orediggers. But this weekend, the Eagles not coming away with nothing. They did end up with 1 point on the season and a couple of good games that are going to help build towards a regionals resume as we head towards that portion of the season as well. Of course, that's way down the line at the end of February into March. Rhett Green out there with some of the best hockey hair I've seen on this team. A good push up to Kapelke. Kapelke's going to feed it into the corner. Erickson trying to get down there as well. He's going to post up just in front of the goal, and instead he's going to use his body there right behind with 20 seconds to go here in Cheney. And don't forget, if you're in the area, to stop by the Barrel House Pub and Pizza, our gracious sponsor for the online broadcast this season. If you bring in your Eastern Washington ticket, 10% off your bill, because it is the official post-game headquarters of your Eastern Washington Eagles. But Gary, it's been a pleasure this weekend. This looks like it's going to be it for the Eagles, and there it is, the final buzzer. Minderman looked like he may have had a chance there to get down towards the goal. And that is going to be it for us here tonight in Cheney. These two teams, you can hear the crowd. They are ecstatic to have seen this type of a game. And what a crowd to show up on a night that the football team played at 5 o'clock. A lot of people sitting at the bar, sitting at home watching that game instead of being here, but these are some real diehard fans.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, what I learned in the last 2 games is Eastern has nothing but upside to it. And the crowd has something to look forward to in the future throughout the season. Eastern put on a good show. You got to give credit to Montana Tech. They played an extremely good series. It was just good hockey, and I'm looking forward to Eastern. They are going to continue to progress and get better. Cut the turnovers off. This game's a whole different game tonight, and that's what did it. Like you said earlier, it was the turnovers that really cost Eastern tonight. but they have a lot of promise going into this year.
Most certainly. And if you're looking for that post-game interview, we're going to do it again. We'll go head down and talk to the player of the game over on the EWU Men's ACHA Hockey Club Facebook page. One of the greatest traditions in sports here, the handshake line. And as hard as these teams played this weekend, as hard as they were hitting, still out there shaking hands. Because it's just a game. It's just a game.
Great sportsmanship by both.
And you see the Eagles here saluting the crowd just one final time as they head back off of the ice. But head on over to our Facebook page, EWU Men's Hockey Club on Facebook. We'll be there in just moments, going live from outside the locker room to get you the inside scoop from the player of the game. Thanks for watching us. Thanks for joining us. We will see you on October 6th against the Portland State Vikings. You've been watching Eastern Washington University Men's ACHA Hockey. For my camera guy, Joe Pumphrey, Gary Allen, I'm Tyler Pisani, saying good night and go Eags.